Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. As you can probably hear, I'm already shuffling the cards to really clear out a lot of these intense, I wanted to say chaotic, so for some of you, these energies may feel chaotic as well as intense that we've been feeling, that we've been shifting through lately, or that at the least many of us have been experiencing. And wow, the first card, yin yang, in kind of the sideways position here. And this is so synchronistic because, of course, this is a twin flame reading. So this card emerging first in the reading really indicates, first of all, a sign of confirmation that yes, we are channeling into a twin flame dynamic of some kind. And a lot of what you may be feeling, I'm hearing for some of you, you may be having physical symptoms or sensations or emotional experiences that may actually feel unrelated to your twin flame or to this path. But Spirit here is trying to remind you that everything is connected and that a lot of what you may be feeling that you may think is unrelated could actually be connected to your twin or to this path in some way. With Journey in the upright position, this is the number 2 card, and I'm getting that some of you may be connecting with the number 222. For some reason, I'm hearing astral projection, astral realm. So some of you may astral project or project your consciousness in some way while you're sleeping. But for most, I feel this card sitting on the third eye. So this card is speaking to, I just heard like inner journey within the self, unconscious inner journey. So I feel as though there are a lot of, I'm getting spiritual downloads, transformations, changes happening through the portal of the third eye. And I'm getting that for this person, you may have felt temple pressure, headaches, even recently, sensations of being lightheaded. And some of this can be coming from these third eye shifts, which really I'm calling here a journey being taken within the self, perhaps unconsciously, meaning you may not fully be consciously aware of these spiritual shifts and transformations that are taking place. I'm getting that for some of you, you may just be feeling these through your physical body or through your emotions. I'm hearing someone say, I don't understand. I don't understand why I'm feeling this way physically or why I'm feeling this way emotionally. And your guides or higher self, whatever divine forces you connect with, may be trying to again remind you that everything is connected, and that if you're feeling a bit unbalanced physically or emotionally, this can sometimes be connected to some powerful shift taking place within you. I'm also hearing, don't be so quick to judge yourself for these feelings, even those feelings or sensations that you might label as negative, because they could be signifying, again, some really radical, beautiful transformation taking place within you. I'm getting that metaphor of the caterpillar in the cocoon going through a process of metamorphosis. But in that process of metamorphosis, things can appear really dark. I'm getting that cliche saying that when the caterpillar is in the process of transforming into a butterfly, they can feel as though their world is ending. And in some sense, their world is ending. And in many ways, parts of your world may feel like they're ending too, because you're leaving parts and pieces of yourself behind that no longer serve you, and you're rising into the person that you were always destined to become. And through that process, you, like the caterpillar transforming into the butterfly, may feel as though you are falling apart or your world is coming to an end. But I just keep hearing one world is ending and the next world is opening for you. There's also something here about having to leave behind the past in order to step into your future. I feel that for someone I'm channeling here, there could be something weighing you down from the past. I'm hearing for some, this is from the past of a relationship that has been spanning a long time with your twin flame. But for others of you, you may have not yet connected with your twin in the physical world, or you may be in a period of separation, or you've met recently, whatever the case is, because this is meant to bring forth more general twin flame energy updates and messages. Whatever the case, I feel as though regardless of whether it's related to your twin flame physically, specifically or not, there is something from your past. And I keep wanting to say divine feminine here. So I feel specifically there could be a divine feminine with something in her past that she is really being guided to let go or release. And I'm going to see if I can get that from the Moonology deck here. But while I'm shuffling, I usually say this at the beginning, but be sure to like this video and also double check that you are subscribed, because by subscribing to this channel, this helps me to tune in more easily to your energy. The energy is gaining momentum, but ironically, this card was turned around. I'm hearing pause or slow down. So some of you may feel as though, especially I'm getting divine feminines, may feel as though something in your life or in this connection is actually losing momentum or is slowing down or is on some kind of a pause. But the opposite is actually true. I'm hearing in the void, this is when the most powerful transformations are actually taking place. And in fact, if you feel as though there's a pause or a void, the purpose of this is the same as that cocoon period for the caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. It is a time of extreme pause or an extreme feeling as though everything has really slowed. I'm hearing to some, it may feel like at times things have come to some kind of a halt. For others, I'm hearing this might feel like a dead end. For some reason, I'm getting also, it might be an emotional dead end for someone. Like, I don't know where to go with all of this that I'm feeling or what the next step is. But I'm hearing the dead end is opening the door. The pause is creating the most powerful transformation. And that's the ironic truth about this situation here. Now, in the extended version of this reading, I am going to be channeling more information on exactly what is transforming or what is happening through this period of void or this period of pause, through this time where things may feel as though they're coming to some kind of a halt or a stop. So if you would like to get more information on that, the link to the extended is in the pinned comment and description box under this video. But for now, I am going to turn to the 3D conscious self of the divine feminine, and I just keep feeling pulled to the Starseed Oracle deck. So what is going on with the divine feminine in the physical 3D world at this time? Also, I do keep getting this solar plexus sensation coming up. So if you've been having, I'm hearing stomach issues, digestive issues, or just weird stomach sensations, I'm hoping that we can channel some information on what might be going on there. So the first card to come out is Child of the Cosmos. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. And I'm hearing that in your own way and in your own time. You are on this process of self-rediscovery. I keep hearing the word unbecoming, meaning divine feminine, you are in the process of taking off the layers of unbecoming everything about who you used to be in order to fully pave the way for everything you were destined to become. Big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. And I'm getting that for some divine feminines recently, there may have been this, I'm hearing a battle to hold your vision, either internally or externally. Also, I'm hearing for some, there could be difficulty trusting your intuition, and that is really sitting on the solar plexus. So that might be part of what's playing into these solar plexus sensations, because we do say, we call them gut feelings when we're talking about our intuitive instincts. And I feel as though there's a divine feminine having difficulty, or I should say really in the process of learning how to distinguish those gut feelings, those those pieces of intuitive information from that kind of anxious feeling that we sometimes get in the solar plexus when we're feeling afraid or uncertain about something. For some reason, I keep getting hard to make a decision. So some Divine Feminine may specifically feel as though I'm hearing fork in the road. You're faced with some kind of decision point in your life where different paths are laid out before you, and it's difficult to know. There's the message. So I see a Divine Feminine standing at a crossroads in her own mind. It feels like I'm choosing between a few different paths here, but Spirit is saying, you're not being called right now to make some kind of a forever choice in this situation. You're being called up. You're looking straight on. I'm hearing dead on this situation through, of course, our physical human lens. And you're seeing these two paths or these few options here, whether it's in life, in love, in career, and you're feeling overwhelmed because you're not really sure which direction to take all of this. But Spirit is trying to remind you, instead of trying to force yourself into some kind of a decision or a choice that you might not feel prepared to make, that you might not feel settled about, allow yourself to go up, meaning to get a bird's eye perspective on this. I see someone just like rising in an airplane, and instead of seeing themselves at this fork in the road, they're seeing this larger picture. They're seeing everything in greater perspective. And that's where I feel this card, big picture thinking, is coming out here. But I feel like this partially symbolizes the feminine being pulled between the 3D world and the 5D existence. Because although we live in this 3D world, and most people dominantly live also from a 3D perspective, we as these beautiful spiritual beings here on a highly awakened spiritual path are learning how to both live physically in this 3D world, but also to be able to see things from this 5D perspective, from this higher dimension, to be able to exist on these higher planes of existence while we're having this physical earthly experience. And I feel like Divine Feminine, I have to say, I keep feeling you pulled. I'm hearing wavering between these two existences, between the 3D and the 5D. And really, I'm getting the 3D fear and the 5D knowing. And the thing is, you are such a visionary, and you are creating this beautiful vision for yourself, your connections, your twin flame path, your life. In fact, it's not even so much that you're actively creating this vision. It's that it's been within you, and you are now realizing it. You are coming into a remembrance of the vision you've always held inside yourself. But there is the need here for you to not allow people, things, the circumstances of life to pull you back into that space of fear. And it's so easy to fall back into this because obviously we're interacting in a very 3D world, and there's something about other people here. So Divine Feminine, you may feel the opinions of others about you or your visions or your dreams or your connections somehow impacting you, or just the opinions of society. You're really being called into a period of really solidifying what you know within yourself, that vision you are holding within yourself, and having the courage to walk that path, even if at times you feel deeply misunderstood by others, or you feel as though you're walking alone. And I feel like that's where part of this solar plexus sensation is coming in, because you may have these fears, these insecurities surfacing through the solar plexus, trying to pull you back into that 3D way of thinking. But the reason those may be surfacing, even as physical sensations at times, is actually for the purpose of bringing your consciousness to them and allowing you to fully, deeply release them and rise into this authentically confident and beautiful person that you are becoming. So because the solar plexus has come up a few times here, I do want to do just a quick little solar plexus clearing for the Divine Feminine. So I am just going to light a little bit of sage here. And I'm setting the intention for you as I'm doing this clearing, Divine Feminine, that you can allow whatever fears or doubts or insecurities you may have been holding on to rise to the surface. Let everything that's been weighing you down come now to the forefront of your mind, not for the purpose of re-experiencing it, but for the purpose of actually letting it go, letting go of the weights, letting go of the fears, trusting in what your soul knows above what your mind is trying to spiral you through, or other people may be trying to pull you down toward. Hold your vision. Hold the vision for yourself and for your life, and allow yourself to rise into that authentically confident, passionate, living on purpose person that you came here to be. You are a light. You are a beacon to others beyond what you can even imagine. So I hope that you felt that little clearing session and that was helpful or beneficial to someone. Also, in the extended version of this reading, I will be channeling more messages from this Divine Feminine's higher self and spirit guides to hopefully get you a little bit of higher level guidance that you may need to hear at this time, because I am sensing that for some feminines, things have simply felt a little bit emotionally chaotic or unbalanced lately. For some, I'm hearing since the pink moon. So if that sounds like you, I do recommend exploring those extended messages as well. So I am now going to speak with the Divine Masculine. There's something going on in the heart space of the masculine. I'm hearing something very intense that you, Divine Feminine, may actually be feeling as physical heart chakra sensations. I'm getting there's a Divine Feminine lying awake at night, feeling her heart racing or almost beating out of her chest, or feeling this kind of pulling sensation through the heart. And for some reason, I'm wanting to just cry right now. I'm feeling this overwhelm of emotion. So I feel that's me tapping into what the Divine Masculine is feeling, this level of emotionality for the Divine Feminine, or for his life, just being broken open to emotion. Now, this is going to sound really strange, but Divine Feminine, I'm getting that some of you may have had watery eyes recently and thought that this was allergies, or you may have felt this urge to cry out of nowhere, or you may have even awoken. This is so specific and probably just for one person, but I'm getting a Divine Feminine who's been waking up with teary eyes, or like feeling like your eyes are watering, or like you want to cry, or like you've been crying. This is so strange, but there's a Divine Feminine who woke up kind of with like red eyes or a puffy face, feeling like they'd been crying, or for some I'm hearing like you've been hungover. So for some of you, your masculine may be feeling this outpouring of emotion at night that then you are waking up with and feeling almost like a physical or emotional hangover, Divine Feminine. I know that's so specific. I just saw the number 1818 for someone also. So let me know if that connects with anyone, but I know that's probably just for one person. Just know that twin flames are so intensely connected that, of course, we feel everything going on, not even just emotionally, but also physically with our twin. And oftentimes we can transfer these physical symptoms and sensations in really strange ways. So the strategy card in the midway position came out here on the heart space. So I'm feeling a masculine very conflicted in his heart about something, but it's not so much conflicted as for some reason I feel that he feels pulled in a direction that he feels at a loss for how to move in. It's like realizing all of a sudden, for some reason I'm seeing a masculine who may have hesitated to make a decision. Whoa, okay, so the message I'm getting very strongly from this masculine is there was some kind of choice that he needed to make, or some movement forward he needed to make in his life. And he was really being pushed by his spirit guides, his higher self, his soul to act. But I feel that for a while, he was trying to make this choice to act from his mind space, from his head space, his ego. And he was thinking of all the reasons. For some reason, I'm hearing a masculine say, I was thinking about all the reasons it couldn't work. But then something happened that it's like instantaneously, none of the things in his head mattered anymore because he was feeling so emotional all of a sudden. This could be because of something specific that happened. So this could be that in some cases, if this is something he's feeling about the divine feminine, it could be that he felt the divine feminine moving on or saw a picture of her. I'm getting a very spontaneous energy from this. For others, if this applies divine feminine to your inner masculine, because do remember these messages can apply to your inner masculine and feminine as well. I'm getting that some divine feminines may be feeling as though their inner masculine, there was kind of this ego stepping in, trying to question some decision of the soul that they wanted to make in their work, in their life. And for some reason, it's like they couldn't make the decision because they were trying to make it from the head. But then all of a sudden, something very emotionally charged may have happened, or they suddenly just felt so emotionally overwhelmed by how they were feeling that what the mind thought didn't matter anymore because they wanted to move from their hearts. They didn't want to move from their head anymore. But the thing is, for this masculine, there's this energy of them now feeling as though maybe it's too late, or something about the timing isn't right, or there's some fears coming up there. I just keep hearing like waited too long. There's this fear that maybe they waited too long, and now there's this uncertainty of what to do with everything that they're feeling. I keep hearing emotional overwhelm. It's almost like a computer system being so overheated that it just shuts down, except the overheating is the masculine feeling all of this emotion, causing him to feel really overwhelmed and to want to shut down. But actually, that's not even entirely accurate, because this masculine wants to move into some kind of action. He feels really pulled now. It's like suddenly feeling certain of the direction you want to go, but all of a sudden not being sure how to actually do it. And with Blossoming Abundance upright, I often associate this card with something slipping through your fingers. So the masculine may actually be fearing that something here is slipping through his fingers. I feel specifically for some of them, this is pointed toward the divine feminine. There's a fear that I'm hearing that I'm going to lose you forever. For some reason, I'm getting that from someone. If I don't act, and I feel pulled to act, but I'm really trying to figure out what to do. I just keep hearing, I now feel so sure that I want you, or that I want this, but all of a sudden I feel really uncertain of how to actually materialize that, how to actually move forward with this. So in the extended version of this reading, I will be channeling specific messages from this conscious 3D self of this masculine to the divine feminine. So what he wants to say to the divine feminine at this time, which with Caring Connections upright, the number 14 might be significant to someone. And for some reason, there's something about a hug or an embrace. So this masculine might be imagining embracing you, or maybe wanting to just take you into his arms. I'm getting that from someone here, but regardless, we will be channeling more of those specific conscious messages from the masculine to the feminine in the extended reading, which is in the pinned comment and description box. But for now, I do want to speak to the higher self of the divine feminine. So what does the divine feminine want to say at this time? What message can I bring forth from the divine feminine's higher self? The great severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. And I feel, divine feminine, this is your higher self saying, you are softening to a greater love for yourself, a greater love for others. You are opening yourself in a world that is very shut off in many ways. You are choosing love in a world where many people choose fear. And I'm getting that takes a lot of bravery, and also takes a lot of energy out of you sometimes, divine feminine, because I am getting that sometimes it just feels so overwhelming to have so much love in your hearts. But the card I remember came out, Soul Plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. This is so synchronistic because earlier in the reading, I was just saying that I felt there's something here for you, Divine Feminine, about rising into your destiny life, about rising onto your highest timeline consciously, rather than remaining unconsciously stuck in this so-called fated life. Because we're all set on a certain path, a certain life trajectory by our parents, by the unconscious patterns we pick up. And I feel, Divine Feminine, you've been through this powerful process of spiritual awakening, transformation, and also this twin flame journey for the purpose of up-leveling you, of shifting you from that fated life to that destiny life. But I'm also hearing this involves making the conscious choice, and not just once, but over and over again, renewing that commitment to your destiny life above your fated life. And I do want to just read a little bit from the guidebook here as well. We live in a world of free will, and therefore, these moments become our destiny only through saying yes. The fated life is the one we were born into. The destiny life is the one our soul chooses, and it takes courage and faith. If you pull this card, it's because you're likely now face to face with the choice to follow the destiny life over the fated life, to trust the path your soul is calling you toward, and to remember that this moment was prearranged on your life's timeline. You may find yourself at a crossroads, at a moment when you are being called to make a decision, to keep walking the perfectly laid out path before you, or choose the one less traveled. You're being invited to remember your soul's greater plan and to surrender to it. When you're confronted with a path that's undefined, it's normal for doubt to rear its head. In fact, this is a certain sign that you're facing your soul's greater plan. Beautiful message from the guidebook there. And in the extended version of this reading, of course, we will be channeling more messages from this Divine Feminine's higher self to her 3D self, as well as higher self messages from both the masculine and feminine to one another. But for now, I do want to close this reading by pulling just a few more cards from the Moonology deck. Your commitment is being tested. And really, I see that connecting with your commitment being tested to your destiny path, your destiny life over your fated life, as we spoke about in the guidebook. What else is one final message for this reading? And once again, just to close it out, the energy is gaining momentum. This is a card of confirmation for whoever may be experiencing that period of time that feels like a pause, that feels like a slowdown. Remember, in those periods of time in nature, when things appear to be very dark, very often that is exactly when the most powerful transformations are taking place. You can just look at the caterpillar in the cocoon, the seed in the earth. Even a child growing in the mother's womb, very often when we are going through the most radical growth, transformation, and change, it can actually appear as though our entire world is ending. But remember, it's not an ending. It is the closing out of an old version of the self, so that those lower vibrations from your past no longer weigh you down, allowing you to fully rise into this highest path and this highest version of the self. So I just saw the number 2929 also. And as always, I do hope that something resonated with you from this reading. Be sure to only take what connects with you personally, because I do channel many different forms of connection and different people throughout these readings. But if something did resonate, I would love if you could leave me a comment under this video and let me know what connected with you personally. Otherwise, we will be heading over to the extended version of this reading now, where we will be channeling into some of the details that came up earlier in the reading, which are all listed out below in the pinned comment and description if you would like to explore the extended messages. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you again in the next reading.